Did real estate Rob see his shadow? Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Rob Folio, your real estate broker, coach, and of course, author of Real Estate Reset. And no, we're not talking about if Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow and if there's 6 more weeks of winter or if it's spring right around the corner. But you know what we are about 6 weeks out from? That's the spring selling season of real estate. We're about 6 weeks out. Now is the time to get ready. It's about preparing before everybody else does. Because after all, that old saying, you've heard it before, the early bird catches the worm. Well, the early seller in this type of market is going to hook the buyer. It just is what it is. And so let's talk about how we're going to make this happen for you and what I'm seeing in the market that makes timing imperative this go round. Now, I don't want to make today's video super numbers centric or anything like that. Instead, I do want to mostly get into what it is that you can do to get your home ready. But a couple of quick things I'm seeing here in the market. So the January stats have dropped, and two big numbers that I'm seeing. First one you see highlighted, months of supply. This is just basically what real estate economists use to showcase if we're in a seller's market, if we're in a buyer's market, basically how much demand there is out there. What we're seeing here is we're seeing 6.7 months of supply closing out January for Davidson County. 6 months is considered a purely balanced market. Lower than 6 is a seller's market, higher than 6 is a buyer's market. But here's the thing. So we have only been above 6 months of supply one time in the last 5 years, really one time since the recession. And that was back in November. We barely peaked above 6 and then we dropped in December, which is the normal, chain of events for months of supply to drop in December. Well, it jumped back up to close to 6.7 months of supply, telling me one of two things is going to happen. We're either going to see this drop next month, and this is just a kind of a hangover from the holiday market, or we really are transitioning into a pure buyer's market, and the time will tell. The other stat I want us to look at is right here, new listings. Now, this right here makes me very optimistic that the last number we just saw was kind of a hangover from that holiday market, and that is because new listings has dropped, substantially compared to where it was last year and really 2 years ago as well. The reason I say this ties into this possibly being signs of just a holiday hangover is that typically comparing January of 26, 900 homes hit the market. January of 25, 1,400 homes hit the market. January of 24, 1,160 homes hit the market. 23, 1,136 homes hit the market. You get the idea that 900 homes is very low for what we would typically see in January. So lower inventory is going to mean lower supply, which is going to help balance out this number and help lower it. Now, here's the thing. This information is for two people. One is that homeowner who's out there who's thinking about selling this spring. You can't time the market perfectly, but the reality is we can prepare now so that we can be the first on the market and we can capitalize on what's happening. And if there is a downturn, well, you beat others to the punch and you'll be ahead of the curve. The second person this information is for that buyer who's sitting there waiting to make a move and just trying to time the market perfectly. Well, this might be your opportunity. It really might. We don't know. Obviously, no one knows the perfect time to buy a home until hindsight. This tells us that we might be in a perfect spot with rates dropping recently and with all that's happening with inventory. If you're a home buyer, you might be in a good spot right now. That's why if you want to be active in the spring market, well, the work starts now. If you're a homeowner and you're wanting to get your home ready to go, well, now's the time to have me out. I'll tell you what you need to do to get the home ready to sell. Backed by my 13 years of experience, I'm a real estate broker as well. Been in Middle Tennessee my whole career. I'm more than happy to go through this with you and tell you what actually will make your home sell. And if you're a buyer, well, it's not just as simple as, buying a car where you can just drive up on a lot and walk out with a car that same day. There's preparation that goes into place when you're looking to buy a home. We've got to get you connected with a lender first. Honestly, it makes sense for us to have a one-on-one session first as well, so I can fully understand what you're looking for in a home and you know what to expect in the home buying process. So if you're a home buyer, reach out to me and let's get that scheduled too. The fact of the matter is we are 6 weeks out from the spring selling season starting. So whether you're looking to sell or you're looking to buy, reach out to me so we can put a plan in place to make this a successful move.